We're looking live at Washington with you now, Capitol Hill. And as MPs in Ottawa were debating and voting in our country, same thing in Washington. Lawmakers have struck their own deal for a massive economic stimulus package. They were working till very nearly 1 o'clock in the morning, following 5 days of tense talks. Partisan politics on full display, even in a time of pandemic. $2 trillion in relief, though, is the package that they came up with to deal with businesses and American citizens who are reeling because of the shutdown, the stoppage in the economy in the United States. Let's go to our senior Washington editor, Lindsay Duncombe, who was following those talks and is here to tell us more about who gets that relief. Good morning, Lindsay.
Hi, Heather. Well, a lot of that relief will go directly into the pockets of affected Americans. The government will be cutting checks to individuals. The amount is $1,200, but that is scaled down based on how much income you have. If you make more income, you won't necessarily be eligible for the full amount or any of that money. There's $500 each for each child. So the idea is that there would be immediate relief for people who are affected. A lot of this is also directed at hospitals. There's money for hospitals and medical staff. There is money for states as they go through and put their pandemic plans in place. And there's also a significant amount of money, $500 billion in loan guarantees, a loan program for affected industries. We've heard so much about these industries that are suffering, the airlines, the tourism industry. But the reason why this was contentious in the past several days, right up until last night, is because of concerns over how that money would be doled out. And as a result, Democrats are taking credit for these provisions, but Republicans are also on side. There will be oversight for that money in terms of making sure that it goes to the programs that will directly help the workers, not for stockholders or for the corporate CEO salary, that kind of thing. This all, as you mentioned, played out late into the night. Here is how both the Republicans and the Democrats talked about the deal on the floor of the Senate last night.
It's good news for the doctors and nurses in emergency rooms around the country who are waiting for more masks and more funding. It's good news for families all across America.
We're going to take up and pass this package to care for those who are now caring for us and help carry millions of Americans through these dark economic times.
So where this goes from here is that the Senate is expected to pass the package as early as today. Then it moves over to the House. That's a bit more complicated because the House isn't in session, but everyone wants to get this done quickly. And a lot of people concede over on Capitol Hill that this is not the first time a big package like this will have to be undertaken. They're looking at additional measures going forward.
Thank you, Lindsay. As always, Lindsay Duncombe is there in Washington.